This is Chris Videos. Like, subscribe to TNT Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. It'll all be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my AEW Dynamite December 28th, 2022 reviews. So here we go, discussing my Dynamite now. This is a New Year's Smash, and this is the last Dynamite of 2022. So yeah, here we go, discussing about AEW Dynamite. Now, we kick off the show with the first match of the night. It was a Bryan Danielson versus All Ego Ethan Page with Stokely Hathaway at ringside. So yeah, it was a one-on-one match between those two. Now, the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, MJF, was watching this match from that skybox and, you know, talking and stuff, distracting Bryan Danielson. Now, he had some girl with him and all that stuff, and he was talking while before the match even started, talking junk to Danielson, talking about, I got a hot girl right here, I'm going to be watching your match and all that. But while he was still talking, Ethan Page attacked Bryan Danielson before the match started, and then we finally got the match underway. It was going back and forth and everything. It was a pretty good match between these two guys to kick off the show. Back and forth, like I said. At one point, we see Ethan Page pick up Bryan Danielson, and they're both up there on that second turnbuckle, where we see Ethan Page hit the avalanche power slam off the second turnbuckle. He pins Bryan Danielson 1, 2, Bryan barely kicking out at 2, but then Ethan Page picks up Danielson, lifts him up about his finish move, all the Ego's Edge onto Bryan Danielson. But Danielson gets off of his shoulders pretty much, gets back onto his feet, he runs to the turnbuckles, he ducks underneath the clothesline from Ethan Page, and he comes back again, hitting the psycho knee onto Ethan Page, and then he starts laying in some stumps to the face onto Ethan Page after that. And then he turns him around and locked on the Regal stretch. William Regal's submission move. Bryan Danielson locks it onto Ethan Page. Ethan Page was already knocked out, so Danielson won the match. So yeah, Bryan Danielson defeated Ethan Page tonight on Dynamite. That's what happened. Really good match to kick off the show. I'll give that match I'll give it 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good match between those two guys. So yeah, go check it out if you haven't yet. But then after that, we see a video package of Samoa Joe's and Wardlow's feud going on stuff, because later on tonight in the main event, Samoa Joe will be defending the TNT Championship against Wardlow tonight in the main event. And then after that video package, we see Renee Paquette interviewing Wardlow, and Wardlow was talking about like how there's been a lot of talking, not enough action. But then all of a sudden, Samoa Joe attacks Wardlow in the leg with a lead pipe, beating him down and stuff, and he goes like, yeah, we're done with talking, I want to show you action now. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff. But that match will be happening later on tonight. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a tag team match. But before I talk about that tag team match, it was one segment we got to talk about. Now we see Hangman Adam Page getting checked on the doctors backstage. He had Evil Uno and pretty much Dark Order with him. But Renee Paquette comes up interviewing him, and Adam Page was talking about how he don't even know if he's going to get back into the ring or whatever, but he's still going to go fight Jon Moxley and all that. And then the doctor told him, he said, I think you'll be possibly cleared within 2 weeks. So if you stop getting riled up and stop going out there to go fight him, and you just keep your head cool and stay calm for 2 weeks, you'll possibly be cleared to get back in the ring. But if you don't, then you ain't gonna never be clear to get back into the ring. And then Adam Page was pretty much happy to hear the results after that. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then we get to the tag team match. It was the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion Claudio Castagnoli and Jon Moxley, the Blackpool Combat Club, versus Darius and Dante Martin, Top Flight, in the tag team match. And this tag team match was pretty good. It was going back and forth and everything. At one point, we see Darius pretty much hitting a backslide onto Claudio. Claudio barely kicking out too, and that's when Claudio quickly got up, hitting the neutralizer onto Darius. He pins him 1, 2. Darius kicked out at 2, and then Claudio starts laying in some elbows and stuff. Dante comes into the ring trying to break up Claudio from laying in those elbows, but as soon as he hit a forearm onto Claudio just looked at him and just kept on laying in some elbows. Jon Moxley goes in the ring, taking out Dante Martin out of the ring and stuff, and then he hit the paradigm shift onto Dante outside of the ring, laying him out. Uh, Claudio lifts up Darius, and it looks like Darius was knocked out by the elbows, but Darius got back up, hitting Claudio in the face, and then Claudio got pissed off, hitting the European uppercut onto Darius, and then pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Claudio Castagnoli and Jon Moxley defeated Top Flight tonight on Dynamite. That's what happened. It was a really good tag team match. For that match, I'll give it 3.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. Really good match. But yeah, then after that, we see a segment backstage with Renee Paquette interviewing Orange Cassidy and Best Friends and all that. Danhausen's backstage with them. And, they're talking. And then Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford come up, interrupting him. And he wants a title shot against Orange Cassidy for the AEW All Alliance Championship. And then Trent Beretta gets into about how, how he's next in line pretty much. And Orange Cassidy was like, yeah, Trent's next in line and all that. And then he was talking about how everything's going to be happening on Rampage. So, yeah, just another way to get a match on Rampage. Sometimes those gets annoying. I'm not even going to lie. I mean, I wouldn't mind to have it sometimes, but it happens like pretty much every show. And anytime when you go backstage, pretty much it's just like, oh, we got a match on Rampage, which is like, okay, cool. But, yeah, that's what happened there. Up next, we're going to be seeing Hook in action. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a one-on-one match. It was Hook versus, and Hook was facing against Balaam Lynx. I hope I said that name right because freaking, I had a video about one of Hook's matches last week and somebody, yeah, they was all upset. So hopefully I got the name right this time. I don't care. But well, yeah, we get to the match and it was okay. Like Hook was obviously dominating this match and stuff. Beating down Balaam, just laying him out and stuff. And then he locks on that submission hold, and he made him tap out. So yeah, Hook won the match, give the match 1 star. That's why I'll give it. Just Hook dominating the match, which was always good, But then, after the match, we see Stokely Hathaway coming out with Big Bill and Lee Moriarty. And, yeah, Stokely's talking about Hook, how about his dad and all that stuff. But then he says, here you go, here comes Big Bill coming for you. And Big Bill gets in the ring, he gets face to face with Hook. But as soon as like everybody was about to get into the ring to jump Hook, we see Jungle Boy coming out, beating down Lee Moriarty outside the ring. And then Hook and Big Bill starts going at it. Big Bill trying to hit Hook. Hook grabs him, about to hit a suplex onto him. But then Big Bill hits an elbow onto him in the back of the head, grabs him by the throat, lifts him up for a chokeslam. But then Jungle Boy gets into the ring, hitting Big Bill in the back with a 2x4, beating him down and stuff. But Big Bill quickly got out the ring. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff. But yeah, after that, we see Chris Jericho talking backstage, and he's talking about how we ain't going to be seeing Action Andretti anymore and all that after what happened last week, and he's going to be ending Ricky Starks next week on Dynamite. So yeah, that's what he was talking about. Pretty good promo from Jericho. Me talking about it ain't going to do it justice, so you got to go check it out yourself. But yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on AEW Dynamite. So the next thing that I'm going to be talking about on AEW Dynamite, it was a 6-man Falls Count Anywhere tag team match. So let's go ahead and about to get right into it because we only got one segment before this. So let's go ahead and talk about that segment. So we had the segment, it was Renee Paquette interviewing Swerve Strickland and his new faction with Parker Boudreaux. I guess that's how you say his last name. I don't know. And Tom McDonald. Now, apparently he was a rapper before. I didn't know who he was by last week's Dynamite because I'd never heard of him, like never listened to any of his music or anything. But apparently he was a rapper, and he used to be a wrestler at one point. So yeah, but yeah, they was talking about Keith Lee and all that stuff. But then they get interrupted by Wheeler Yuta, and Wheeler Yuta wants a match against Swerve Strickland on Rampage, of course. So yeah, that's going to be happening. But then we get to the match. Now, we start off the match backstage, actually. It was Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega, the Elite, versus the AEW World Trios Tag Team Champions, Pac, Rey Fenix, and Penta El Zero Miedo in a Death Triangle in a 6-man tornado tag team Falls Count Anywhere match. So yeah, Falls Count Anywhere match. The match started backstage and all that stuff. Pretty good match. It was going back and forth, obviously. We see Moonsault backstage off this platform with Pac doing it. Everybody doing crazy stuff. Of course, all the weapons getting involved. Tables, trash cans, chairs, all that stuff. Bunch near falls and all that. At one point, we see the Young Bucks hitting the Meltzer driver onto Penta outside of the ring, which was pretty cool, but Pac breaking up the pin at the count of 2 and all that stuff. But then we started getting closer and closer to the ending where everybody's picking up near falls and stuff. Like we see the Bucks hitting the BTE trigger onto Penta. They pin him 1, 2, Pac barely breaking up the pin at 2, and then Pac and Mac Jackson is going at it inside the ring, fighting back and everything. Now Nick Jackson was on the apron because he was waiting for Matt to pick Pac up so they can hit the Meltzer driver, but Pac pushes Nick into him, but Matt stops in his tracks, and then Pac almost hits Nick as well. But then Pac turns around and Matt tries to hit Pac with a super kick, but Pac moves out the way, and Nick gets hit with the super kick instead, getting knocked off the apron. Pac rolls Matt up for the pin. 1, 2. Instead, Pac breaks up the pin. He locks on the Brutalizer, which is a submission hold, about to make Matt tap out. And Matt's just looking, and then on the other side, like pretty much by the ramp area, like off the stage or whatever, we see Kenny Omega getting Rey Fenix up onto his shoulders on this platform, hitting the one-winged angel off the platform through 2 tables. And then while Pac was having the Brutalizer locked on to Matt, Kenny Omega got the 3 count onto Rey Fenix over there, winning the match for his team. And then Matt taps out, and Pac thought he won the match, but obviously he didn't. Kenny Omega and then won. So yeah, that was a pretty cool ending where Pac thought he won the match, and then they rung the bell after Matt tap out. So yeah, that was a pretty cool ending. I'm not even going to lie, I really liked it. Pretty cool stuff though. But yeah, the Elite defeated Death Triangle tonight in the Falls Count Anywhere match. So now they got the last match set it up. It will be the 7th match, which will be happening on January 11th, which is 2 weeks from now. It will be the Elite versus Death Triangle in a ladder match for the AEW World Trios Tag Team Championships. So yeah, that match will be happening in 2 weeks. So yeah, pretty good stuff. But I really like this Falls Count Anywhere match. I'll give it 4 stars. And that's why I'll give it. It was a really good match. So yeah, that's why I'll give it. So far, match of the night for me. But then after that, we see the AEW World Tag Team Champions Anthony Bowens and Max Caster and Billy Gunn, the Acclaim, having a rap video, which the rap video was pretty damn good. It was really good. They was making references to Global Force Wrestling, Jeff Jarrett's other own company, which flopped. TNA, which is still alive, but yeah. And then they made references to Jay Lethal's time in TNA, being, as characters like as Macho Man and stuff like that. So yeah, they just made stuff about that, and Jeff Jarrett getting with Karen Jarrett from Kurt Angle and all that stuff. So yeah, pretty good stuff. Go check out the video. Really good video. Really good stuff. Not even gonna lie. Actually, it's probably my favorite thing about Dynamite tonight. Not even gonna lie. But yeah, still to come later on tonight in the main event, Wardlow will be taking on Samoa Joe for the TNT Championship later on tonight in the main event. But up next, we're going to be seeing Ruby Soho and Willow Nightingale versus Ty Mello and Anna Jay up next in a tag team match. So yeah, that match will be happening up next. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a tag team match. It was Ty Mello and Anna Jay, Ty Jas versus Ruby Soho and Willow Nightingale in a tag team match. It was a pretty good tag team match. We see Ty Mello and Ruby Soho was the women that was the legal women in this match going at it and everything. At one point, Ty Mello almost got the 3 count onto Ruby, but then we see Willow breaking at the pin by spearing Anna Jay on top of him, breaking up, and Anna Jay and Willow Nightingale was going at it outside the ring. Willow Nightingale hit a snap suplex onto her outside the ring. Ruby starts brawling back with Ty Mello in the ring, going at it and stuff. They started laying in some headbutts until both of them hits a double headbutt. Ty Mello falls down. Ruby falls on top of her, pinning her, but Ty Mello barely kicking out the pin at a count of 2. And then outside the ring, we see Anna Jay grabbing a steel chair, trying to hit Willow Nightingale with the chair. But then we see Aubrey Edwards grabbing the steel chair out of Anna Jay's hand, complaining to her and all that stuff. But while she's distracted by Anna Jay, we see Ty Mello grabbing a steel chair, gets into the ring, passes it to Ruby Soho, and then hits a punt kick onto Ruby with the chair, hitting her in the face. So yeah, that's what happened there. Ty Mello threw the steel chair out the ring, picks up Ruby Soho, hitting the Ty KO onto Ruby, and then pins her for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Ty Mello and Anna Jay defeated Ruby Soho and Willow Nightingale tonight on Dynamite. That's what happened. It was an okay women's match. I'll give that match 2.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, pretty good stuff. And then after that, we see the Guns about to get interviewed backstage, but they quickly walked out, talking about they're still partying for what they did last week by beating FTR. So yeah, they claim that they're the best tag teams. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then after that, we see Ricky Starks getting interviewed. He's talking about how he's going to beat Chris Jericho next week on Dynamite and all that stuff. Pretty good promo what he was cutting. But yeah, up next it'll be the main event. It'll be Wardlow versus Samoa Joe for the TNT Championship up next in the main event of Dynamite. So yeah, I'll see you guys a little later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a one-on-one match. It was a main event. It was the TNT Champion and Ring of Honor World Television Champion Samoa Joe versus Wardlow one-on-one for the TNT Championship. So let's go ahead and talk about the match. It was the main event. So Samoa Joe makes his way down to the ring, and then Wardlow's theme song hits, but he does not come out. And Samoa Joe grabs the mic and he goes like, Wardlow's scared of him. I wouldn't blame him for not coming out after my leg would be hurting too. And then all of a sudden we see Wardlow walking out with a bunch of referees and stuff, trying to hold him back, telling him, no, don't go to the ring. And Wardlow's like, no, screw this, I'm going to that ring. And then he gets into the ring and they start the match. Pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. Wardlow trying to pick up a few near falls at one point. But then we get to the ending where Samoa Joe is beating down Wardlow in the corner. He climbs up there about to lay the punches onto him. But then Wardlow grabs him from underneath, hitting a powerbomb onto Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe was going at the legs majority of the time in this match. So yeah, after that powerbomb from Wardlow grabs Samoa Joe again, about to hit a second powerbomb onto him up until his legs gave out from him. And then Samoa Joe hits a chop block onto Wardlow and then locks on the Coquina clutch onto him, making him pass out. So yeah, Samoa Joe defeated Wardlow tonight and has retained the TNT Championship. That's what happened. Pretty good match. But then after the match ended, we see Samoa Joe still in the ring. Wardlow gets back up to his feet, and Samoa Joe's pretty much giving some respect to Wardlow. And then he says, screw that crap, and he hits Wardlow upside the head with the TNT Championship, laying him out. And then Samoa Joe gets out the ring, looking for something underneath the ring, going through like a toolbox and stuff. But then he grabs a pair of scissors, which was underneath the ring. He gets in the ring. The referee's trying to stop him. Samoa Joe headbutts the referee upside the head, knocking him out. And then he grabs Wardlow by the head and then cuts off that ponytail that was on Wardlow's head. And then, that's what happened there. And then all of a sudden, Darby Allin's theme song hits. Samoa Joe's waiting for Darby to come on out, but Darby comes from behind him after he came through the crowd and hits Samoa Joe in the back with the skateboard. Samoa Joe quickly getting out the ring, and then Darby Allin picking up the TNT Championship, holding it up high. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good main event. What happened after the match was pretty good. Darby Allin returning and all that stuff, and Samoa Joe retained the title. But for the match, I'll give it 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was okay stuff. But for match of the night, I gotta say, was the Falls Count Anywhere match with the Elite and Death Triangle. That was a really good match. But yeah, for tonight's AEW Dynamite, I'll give it 7.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good episode. But yeah, next week's episode, we got Ricky Starks versus Chris Jericho, much more. So yeah, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. I'll be down there in the description box. And I'll see you guys later for this Friday's Friday Night SmackDown reviews. See you guys later. Until then.